We're gonna taste it for the camera.
Really good.
Really good.
Where did you come from?
You're jealous.
Where did you?
So I'm gonna be cooking birthday dinner for PJ because PJ's birthday's coming up, and so I decided to make some baked spaghettis, which I have a tutorial that I have to put up. I edited it, I haven't put it up yet. So it's baked spaghetti with shrimp and lobster in it. The video that I made before, we had it with sausage, Italian sausage, but this one's gonna have some shrimp and lobster. So that's what I'm gonna be making. I'm gonna do a tutorial on that as well. So for this recipe that I am about to bring to you, which is something that is delicious and I wish I could eat it every day, it's collard greens. I know you guys are probably thinking it was like this big thing, but it really wasn't. Yeah, it's collard greens. I love collard greens. My house is like the house for entertaining, you know, friends and family. So always for the holidays, I make my Puerto Rican food, but I always have to incorporate, if you want to call it country food, if you want to call it soul food. So when you put Puerto Rican food together, and you put some good old, if you want to call it southern food, soul food, you put Puerto Rican and southern soul food together, it's like the best thing ever. So when I entertain on the holidays, I always make my Puerto Rican, traditional Puerto Rican dishes, but I always incorporate it with some of the southern soul food. So my collard greens, my sweet yams, sometimes the smothered pork chops, and it's when you combine both of those together, is amazing, because it's comfort food all the way around. And first, enough for me talking. Today we're gonna make some collard greens to go along with my baked spaghetti. So this is the way that I make it. Everybody always loves it. There's people that make it different, and this was the way I was taught to make it many years ago. So we're going to get, I have here I have 4 bunches, but this one, look how big this is. This is collard greens. They've been, we got them, Paul actually picked them up from the farmer's market. They've been in the nevera, in the refrigerator for about 4 days now. So this is what it is. And then there's 3 bunches here. Now, for those of you, some of you on this channel might have made greens. You probably have a better recipe than me. Even though everybody loves my collard greens, I just gotta say, forgot what the hell I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So for those of you who've never, made collard greens have to be clean repeatedly, like over and over and over, because they're very gritty. They have a lot of grit. Other words, like dirt. So you have to make sure that you wash them really, really well. And sometimes I'm washing them over 5, maybe 6 times. And if you rub your hand in the pot, I use a big roasting pan. This is a roasting pan. This is as old as PJ. No, he was 5. But he's 25 now. He's gonna be 25. So this is what I'm going to use, this roasting pan, because it's nice and big. So I'm going to show you how I prep my collard greens, then I put them in there. And if you touch the bottom of that pan, you'll feel the grit. If you rub your pan in the sink, you'll hear a scratching noise. That's all the grit that's coming out of your collard greens. So just because they look like this, don't mean that they're clean, because they're really not. All right, so the way I make my collard greens, I like to use the smoke turkey wings. Let's see if you can see. These are from ShopRite. I like a lot of meat in my greens. There's some people that might just use 1 or 2 pieces of the smoked turkey. Nope, I like the whole pack because I like my greens to be meaty. So that's why whenever I buy 1 pack, when I make this much for the holidays, I have to probably make 3 or 4 times more than this, because these will wilt. So although it looks like it's a lot of greens right now, it really isn't. Okay, so let me position my camera and then I'm going to show you how I prep my greens before I stick them in the bath to remove all the grit. So you're going to need a bowl. So I'm going to be using this, or you can use whatever you want to wash your greens in. So have that ready on the side. That way as you're prepping and cutting your greens, you're putting them in here, and then we're going to soak them in some cold water. Okay, I'll be right back. A huge pot to throw in your smoked turkey wings. I do not like the smoke neck bones, turkey neck bones, because it has too many little bones. So that's the reason why I only use the smoked wings. And you want to do this process before you even start cutting and cleaning your greens, only because this will take a while and you want to cook this for over probably an hour. This is why I started early in the morning, because you want all this meat to fall off the bones. So there we go. So maybe an hour and a half, I'll check it when I'm cutting my greens or whatever. And I'm not going to take the meat out until I see it's falling off the bones. And then you do not throw this water out. Rewind. So we're gonna let this cook about an hour and a half. We want this meat to be very tender. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna cook about an hour. After an hour, the meat should already start getting tender. Then we're gonna take our collard greens after we clean them, and we're gonna throw them in this pot. And we want the greens to just finish cooking off with our smoked turkey wings. Okay, so to this, I'm gonna, once it comes to a boil with my turkey wings in there, I'm gonna sprinkle a little salt and pepper at that time, and then I'll throw my greens in after that. Okay, so you can already feel okay. All right guys, so here is one of the leaves, and I like to cut along the stem. So this is the stem, so I just cut along. And then I just start to pile it that way. Some people leave the stem. I don't like to leave the stem. So this is the way I cut them. So after I cut all of my leaves off of my stem, this is the stem, I then take my greens and I roll them. Every time I do this, I think of sushi. And I love sushi. Okay, so then I get my knife, my cuchillo, and I just cut them. You can cut them however thick you want. I don't like my greens too thick, too thin. I cut them on the thicker side. So I'll try to zoom in when I edit. About there. Because I don't like mushy greens. I don't like mushy vegetables. Some people like mushy greens. I like mine to have a little bit of a bite, not a crunch, but I want to be able, when I chew, that I'm actually savoring my greens. So now I take this just like this, and I'll put it into my bowl like so, and then by then I got all of these already lined up. So then I will go, you know, to my different stacks and roll and cut. All right, so I'm going to put my music back on. I'm going to continue to cut my greens, and then I'll be back for the next part. All right, let me zoom in. All right, about there. All right, I'm gonna show you guys. So it's been an hour, and you see how your smoked turkey, the bone is already, I don't want to drip this on my floor. It's already coming off, the meat's coming off the bone. That's what you want. And you see how the meat, I still can't grab it, so it's still not that tender, but it is falling off the bone. So that's exactly how you want it. It's been exactly 1 hour, because now we're going to take all our greens that we washed over and over and over and over, and we're going to start. You know what, let me add a little bit of salt. Hold on. I'll add more salt at the end if I just want to salt my water just a little bit. So you can add like 2 or 3 tablespoons of salt. Now I'm going to start taking all my greens and dumping it in there. That way the smoked turkey wings can continue to cook with your greens. I gotta add them slow so they can start to wilt. All right, I'm gonna continue to add my greens, and then we'll be back after 1 hour. So put all your greens in, and then after 1 hour I'll be back, and then we'll see together how far they've come along. Okay, and don't worry, it seems like a lot of greens, and it may seem like your pot's not going to hold them, but your greens are going to start to wilt, and all your greens will fit in your pot. Just be patient. Alright guys, so after adding my greens, I let this cook for about an hour and a half. So I just wanted to show you before I start draining it, because I'm going to put all this in a strainer, but oh, it's hot. I wanted just to show you that this is what it should look like, because now you're going to comb all this meat off of your smoked turkey wings. Okay, and you're going to break all that meat into your collard greens, and then we're going to just season them up and hook them up and get them ready to serve. But I just wanted to show you that, you see how it's breaking apart, and this is exactly what you want, for your greens to break apart just like this, where it's just falling off the bone. Alright, so I'm going to add a ½ cup of the white vinegar. So let me just show you. And then I'm going to add, one tablespoon of sugar to that. Okay, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of the red pepper chip. And I'm going to give it a good stir. And I broke up most of the smoked turkey wings as I was adding it. And taking everything, whatever I could take off the bone, And then whatever big chunks of the smoked turkey that I have, I'll just try to break it up with my spoon or a fork, which I'm about to get a fork. And I can tear it apart. And that's basically it. I don't add much to, and I leave the skin in there because I like the skin. If you don't like the skin, you can take it out. But that's really all that I add to it. I add the vinegar, the sugar, and the crushed chili peppers, and that's it. I feel that my greens are already seasoned from the smoke. Alexa, stop. From the smoke turkey wings. So this is it. It's pretty much done already at this point. Guys, so this is the end of my collard greens tutorial. I hope you give this tutorial a try. If you do, leave it in comments and let me know how you like it. And this is it. It's very simple, easy. I told you I like my collard greens meaty, and this is exactly what it is. And yeah,
it's really good.
It's really good, everybody. All right, guys. So this is the end result of my collard greens with smoked turkey wings. If you guys give it a try, let me know in comments and let me know how you like it. I hope you give all the other recipes that I'm making today for my son's 25th birthday a try. And if you do, leave it in comments. Let me know how you liked it. Once again, everybody likes my collard greens. So this is it. We're gonna serve it with some mac and cheese, some fried chicken, and some fried calamari. And the mac and cheese is shrimp, lobster, and mac and cheese. So make sure you look out for that tutorial. With that said, thank you so much for watching. It's simply Nana with cooking, crafting, and sazon. To the next video, guys.
Bye.